Welcome to Passion for Fashion. If fashion is your passion, then I guess you've come to the right spot. Today, we declare war on the catwalk with a military-themed episode, with designers that have taken combat to the runway, the singers that strike with their looks, and the celebrity faces that have launched 1,000 ships. They say war is good for absolutely nothing, but you could argue it's been great for fashion. If we step back in time to some frankly shocking moments in history, you may find some of your high street favorites. The humble cardigan was named after the 7th Earl of Cardigan, who led the charge of the Light Brigade. The legend of that military tactic made the knitted wool waistcoats the soldiers wore a must-have item in the 19th century. The kind of military jacket that we know today stems from the uniforms of the Napoleonic War. Jumpsuits were designed for parachuting troops who needed to get behind the enemy line. They kept the soldier insulated at high altitudes and kept Tom Cruise swoon-worthy in Top Gun. Gwen is such a fan of the jumpsuit, she included a few funky takes on it in her 2013 Autumn-Winter collection. Just like the jumpsuit, the bomber jacket has found itself out of the cockpits and onto the catwalks. Tom Ford made a sequined bomber jacket in this spectacular show, and Jonathan Saunders made his as shiny as the planes in which they once flew. When Versace teamed up with H&M, one of the hottest items was this cropped bomber jacket. As well as finding a fan in Kanye West, Jessie J proved women should have been let into the cockpit sooner by wearing the jacket in bombastic style for her video, Domino. Another item out of the skies are Ray-Ban aviator glasses. These were originally designed in 1936 to protect pilots' eyes from the sun's glare. Again, Tom Cruise steps in here as part of the reason sales of aviators skyrocketed. Michael Kors displayed his take on camouflage, albeit in hues that would probably get a soldier spotted. Naval military gear is in your wardrobe too. Pea coats may be seen on the backs of the likes of Taylor Swift, but they were once on the backs of sailors as a long jacket. This is Miu Miu's take on it. All these items have found new life on the catwalks and in the magazines. Giselle modelled military style on the cover of Vogue and has since been fronting the recent H&M campaign, which is bringing military to the high street. Seems like this look will put up a fight before going out of fashion. Thomas Burberry was quite the innovator. He patented gabardine, a waterproof, tightly knitted cotton which was inspired by the linen outfits of the English shepherds and farmers. This material was an instant success. Burberry is best known for the trench coat, although there is a standoff as to who made the first one. Thomas Burberry claims it with his design for an officer's raincoat, but rival British label Aquascutum also claims the trench as its own. These designs included shoulder straps for insignia. Business boomed for the label in the 1900s as Britain's adventurers and explorers made Burberry their choice garment. The label also successfully branched into overcoats and hats for women. The distinctive tweed designs are still on the catwalks of today. The Burberry trench found fame in Breakfast at Tiffany's when Audrey Hepburn braved the rain in one, and perhaps doing the same as Audrey, Princess Diana once faced the elements in a Burberry raincoat. Whoever invented it, the trench remains an item so British, both the Queen and Sid Vicious have worn it. It remains a practical and stylish item for every wardrobe. The label entered the 90s with a series of campaigns by photographer Mario Testino. The clothing modelled by Kate Moss showcased the trench, and most famously the plaid bikini, which Anna Wintour suggested Burberry design. The appointment of Christopher Bailey transformed the company. His campaigns made Burberry a desirable item once more. His shows became the shows to attend. He associated the brand with the music scene, and many musicians have turned model for the label. He appointed the most current names in modeling, such as Cara Delevingne, to front campaigns. She became the face of the brand, bringing cool to the trench. Bailey hasn't forgotten the heritage pieces of the label, but he brought them up to date. His latest show featured the classic trench in a host of new materials and designs. Watched by the likes of Anna Wintour and Kate Beckinsale, trenches of rubber, cashmere and leather were worn by models of the moment Karlie Kloss and Jordan Dunn. It seems that the trench is here to stay. If you want to show you have what it takes to top the charts, you'd better dress for it. Here is our countdown of the women warriors in music. Attacking the chart at 5, it's Avril Lavigne. Avril used her rebellious attitude for a punk take on military in Rock and Roll. Her dress recalls that other rebel, Tank Girl, as she drives across the desert taking on bad guys, including Billy Zane. I doubt her sergeant would be too pleased by these antics. For her video, Part of Me, Katy Perry embraced her inner G.I. Jane. The chart topper usually is glam in her videos, but Katy knew that to make an impact she would have to try something different. She tearfully cuts her hair off as that would only get in the way of a Marine, and takes part in some pretty brutal training courses. Dancing under a giant garrison flag showed which side she was on. Better join her team. More from our countdown later as we take a look at the wildest side of the catwalk in What the Fashion? Don't give us a twirl in this dress, you'll take someone's head off. It looks like she's got a beard. Your grandmother's finest china. Ooh, careful as you turn. We all have our favorite side. Luckily, she remembered her glasses. Good for weddings and funerals. It's a fashion gossip stopper. Ooh, it's an alien. And there's another one. The anti-fur campaign has gone floral. Two can play at this fashion game. They forgot to take the dress fully out of the packaging. Why the long face? Coming up, we have more from our countdown, a look at the top on-screen military fashion moments. We visit Savile Row and profile that signature piece, the military jacket. Now we return to our countdown to find out who has struck number 3. It's Cheryl Cole. British pop star Cheryl Cole is known for her style, so when it came to making her video for Fight for This Love, she knew she had to search for the strongest looks. This little military number was perfect for a song about fighting for a troublesome relationship. She took to the X Factor to perform in a similar jacket, and bang, military fever had taken over the UK in minutes.
It's a place in me that you can call home. I'm better than that. I'm not gonna blast you on the radio. I'm better than that. I'm not gonna lie you and your family.
There are few girl groups as fierce as Destiny's Child. Although one of them went on to become enormously successful, there was a time they were trying to survive on a tropical island.
'Cause my mama taught me better than that. I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna work hard.
When the girls made the video to the smash hit Survivor, they dressed in camouflage gear, although dancing out in the open like that kind of renders the attire useless. And where did they find those outfits anyway?
Keep on surviving.
The military jacket is the essential piece for an aspiring soldier's wardrobe. The colors and fabrics may change, but it's a catwalk favorite. British soldiers first took to wearing red single-breasted jackets. It's easy to pinpoint the birth of its popularity, though. Jimi Hendrix rocked the jacket like no other. He bought his from the famous Notting Hill shop I Was Lord Kitchener's Valet. The Beatles soon followed with their Sgt. Pepper campaign. Galliano took the jacket to a new dimension. Kate Moss took up the trend wearing military on the cover of Vogue, and she modeled this collection for Mango's military-inspired line. Today, we find similar jackets on other models for many designers, including Dolce & Gabbana and Moschino.
I was a skinny, frightened lad, no more than 17.
These are the key films for women to study before going into service.
But now I am a born
Goldie Hawn's Private Benjamin had a rude awakening when entering boot camp.
Get your ass up and out on the company street!
As a rich, pampered society woman thrown into the army, Goldie Hawn played for laughs in this 80s favorite. Goldie may be miserable at times whilst training, but she pulls off the military look. With her big grin and blue eyes, a soldier has never looked so adorable. A legal drama can divide an audience, but we were all on Demi Moore's side in the fashion stakes in A Few Good Men.
In short, Captain, I'd like to suggest that I be the one that it be me who is assigned to represent them myself.
Demi has always been an actress to exude understated glamour, and as a legal representative for the Navy, Demi wore her epaulettes with style. Let's face it, taking on Jack Nicholson is no easy task, but Demi never falters and looks every inch the woman in charge. Angelina Jolie has to be one of Hollywood's most glamorous actresses. She is also one of the most active on screen in her action films.
Alert the amphibious squadron.
In the rather long title Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, she plays Commander Frankie Cook, and she is in charge of a huge military army in the sky. We wonder if the eye patch is covering a battle scar or merely a fashion statement. Either way, she rocks this rubber uniform, and we think very few actresses could. Peggy Carter in Captain America is very different from your typical superhero love interest.
Captain, we're ready for you, if you're not otherwise occupied.
As an officer, she is capable of taking care of herself. Haley Atwell likened her character to that famous Ginger Rogers quote. Peggy can do anything that Captain America can do, but backwards and in high heels. With her 40s hairdo, she applies red lipstick in between taking on enemies with her machine gun. It's impossible to think of Top Gun without bursting into Berlin's Take My Breath Away, or thinking of Kelly McGillis as Charlie. She is the object of affection for Tom Cruise's character Maverick in the film.
Excuse me, Lieutenant.
But it turns out she is also his instructor. Awkward.
I have top secret clearance. The Pentagon sees to it that I know more than you.
Well, ma'am, it doesn't seem so in this case now, does it?
Savile Row in London is world famous for its bespoke tailoring. The street has a deep connection with the military world. Initially, it housed military officers and their wives. Tailors first appeared to serve the military requirements. This has carried through till today. Number 1 Savile Row is where you would find Jeeves and Hawkes. As well as providing suits and outerwear for the royal family, they also provide certain regiments with their uniforms. Dage and Skinner on the same street have spent the past 150 years creating uniforms, including those for Princes William and Harry. Until the 60s, all suits from Savile Row were modelled on a military block, smart but stiff. Alexander McQueen trained at Anderson and Shepherd. It explains the fantastic tailoring you find in his clothes. Henry Poole is credited with making the first dinner jacket. Savile Row still remains the place to go for the finest tailoring. We return now to our countdown. The girls that came before may have won their own battles, but only one can win the war. So who is our number 1? It's Rihanna. Rihanna is a fearsome queen of the battlefield. The So Hard singer won't let landmines ruin that dress. And she ordered her tank to be painted pink before straddling it in this Jeremy Scott helmet. She looks so good in this video that she was asked by Universal Pictures to be in the blockbuster Battleship. Despite having very few lines of dialogue, mostly composed of exclamations.
What the hell is that? Mom, bitch. Real bad idea, Lieutenant.
She still makes an impression on the big screen. We wouldn't like to spend most of a film wet, but she pulls it off with help from an uncommonly flattering naval uniform. Let's try and find out her secret as we look to Rihanna for fashion.
You know, I've never felt like this before. This feeling's like so real.
Since arriving on the music scene in 2005, Rihanna has recorded a new album for each year. There are very few pop stars that can claim that. Most importantly, Rihanna knows that to promote an album, you've got to look good, and she has style by the bucket load. She is known for her edgy choices, but ones that can be emulated on the high street. She may be a fan of the military look, but she has embraced many different styles. She first appeared as a fresh-faced, cute girl next door, but as the hits started to come, she evolved into the good girl gone bad. SOS was a moment her new look became angular and more gritty. Her huge single umbrella led to working with massive designers. Alexander McQueen dressed her up in this jumpsuit. Dolce & Gabbana in this ruffled dress, and she can count Karl Lagerfeld as a friend, having been invited to several of his shows. When she released Only Girl in the World, she embraced her girly side once again. She looks super cute in this Prada ensemble whilst launching her fragrance. But we knew the bad girl would come back. The video for We Found Love took Rihanna to a dark but stylish place. She carried this look onto the red carpet when she attended the Met Gala. The big labels know her power. She has fronted campaigns for Armani, and her line for River Island has contributed to the high street brand becoming a global success. We won't ever be able to predict what Rihanna does next. To close the show, we return to the finest array of military fashion.
Let me be your ruler. You can call me Queen Bee, and baby I'll rule. Let me live that fantasy. My friends and I, we've cracked the code. We count our dollars on the train to the party. And everyone who knows us knows that we're fine with this. We didn't come for money. But every song's like gold teeth, Grey Goose dripping in the bathroom, bloodstains, ball gowns, trash in the hotel room. We don't care. We're driving Cadillacs in our dreams. But everybody's like crystal, Maybach, diamonds on your timepiece, jet planes, islands, tigers on a gold leash. We don't care. We aren't caught up in your love affair, and we'll never be royals. It's a run in our blood. That kind of luck's just ain't for us.
Until next time on our fashion carousel.
Let me be